There you go. Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the meeting of Hungerford Town Council. Just a few housekeeping issues. If the fire alarm goes off, please exit the building post-haste, either to your left or to your right, and meet at the front. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 24051 to receive apologies for absence.
We've received apologies from Councillors Sullivan and Royal, and we've received resignation from Councillor Sharon Murray, which means we now have a vacancy in the West Ward, which I will contact Cheshire East and let them know.
Okay, thank you very much. Agenda item 24052 to note declarations of interest and request for dispensation to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or co-opted member has a disposable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest. Does that apply to any councillors here? No. Okay. No. No. Agenda item 2453 is the open forum where questions concerning items on the agenda can be put to the council by the public during this period. Matters which, in the chairman's view, require debate and or a discussion will be referred to the next committee meeting or council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the chairman's discretion. The public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and strictly 3 minutes per person unless the chair allows otherwise. Do we have any questions from members of the public? No? Okay, thank you very much. We move on to agenda item 24054, which is to approve and sign the minutes of the Hungerford Town Council Finance Committee meeting of the 16th of January. Do any councillors who were attending at the meeting, that is myself, Councillor North, Councillor Sampson, and Councillor Smith, any issues with any of those minutes?
Nothing.
No, we're okay. May I have a proposal then to accept the minutes? Oh, sorry.
I think the minutes are fine, but I have a question to ask. Was the road safety mirror purchased and installed?
It was bought and it arrived at 6 o'clock this evening. It's not been installed. It's in my office. It's in my office.
Where's it going?
At the end of the old road. But I have a new location.
A cunning plan.
A cunning plan.
Good. Through the chair.
Yes.
There's an item that was in the last meeting that, if you don't mind, I can just make a comment about it. Maybe 2 3 minutes. At the end of the meeting, once we decided that the date of the next meeting, it's not germane to this meeting.
Right.
But it's just something I'd like to make people aware of.
At the end of the meeting, with the notices and correspondence?
Yes, please.
Okay, remind me.
Will do.
Okay, so can I have a proposal, please, to thank you, Councillor Sampson, and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Small. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 24055 is to approve and sign the minutes of the Hungerford Town Council meeting of the 16th of January 2024. Councillors, have you looked through these and are there any issues? Councillor Small.
Two or three comments, if I may, Chair. On page 2, just to comment that the defibrillator map is now on the website. Is that correct, Lark? Page 4. The invitation from Jones Homes to attend the opening of the new show home. That event was attended by both councillors Sampson and Small. A Small feeling a little bit like a traitor.
Can I ask you, did you ask them why they said it was in Wilmslow and in Hungerford?
But my postal address is Hanforth, Wilmslow, Cheshire, SK93AX.
Yes, that was mine, but
No.
they're saying that that is in Wilmslow.
It was advertised as Wilmslow, and I wrote to Lisa Reeves at wilmslow.co.uk to ask to point the anomaly out. And she came back to me and said, well, it's a paid for advert and they wanted it as Wilmslow, even though it's in hand for, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I wondered why they haven't said it's in Chelsea or Westminster, if that's,
well, yeah.
It's just a snob family.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm, yeah.
My,
Okay.
my last comment is on page 5. It's a question. Have there been any further transgressions?
Yeah.
I've checked on YouTube and I couldn't see anything new there.
Yes.
No,
No,
nothing.
nothing.
Okay, any questions for anybody else? All right, can I have a proposal then to accept the minutes for the town council meeting? Thank you, councillor Paul, and seconded by councillor John Smith. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 24056 to receive a report from the PCSO. I presume you've all had a copy of the report.
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
Just a comment, Chair, that there was a burglary in my home street on Saturday night at 6 o'clock, just after it got dark. That's all I want to say about it.
Mm. A very rude awakening, I think.
Yeah.
Other than that, any other comments from anybody else? Okay, thank you. Agenda item 24057 is to approve and...
No,
No, we don't. Sorry. To approve and sign the order of payments for February 2024. Does anybody have any questions about the payments?
Chair, clerk, explain what these new public footpath signs are and where they are.
We requested a bit ago. They've gone on Hall Road on the lamppost directing to Brereton Road.
Oh, right. I must be blind.
Well, actually, that one on Hall Road has been
It's been knocked slightly, yes.
and it needs to be pushed back.
It does.
I requested that because there's a number of occasions when I've come up the road there and people just step out, and I always go past very slowly, but we've got so many people coming down that road now that aren't used to it. So that was the reason that was put there. Any questions from
Can I ask
anybody
if the
else?
hedgehog signs are written in a language that they can understand so you know where to cross?
Yes, it was. It was written in special heritage language.
Thank you.
That was a request from our residents. Anything else, anybody? Okay. May I have a proposal then, please, to accept those? Thank you, Councillor Julie Smith, and a second. Thank you, Councillor Peter Moore. Let's get to the top of the agenda again. Okay. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 24058 is to receive any reports from our ward councillors.
Yes. At the end of January, I attended a meeting at the mosque along with Gareth, Greater Manchester Police, Stockport Highways and councillors and residents of Heel Green. It was to discuss the parking because although the mosque is in Stockport, a lot of our residents were being inconvenienced by parking on Clay Lane and on Wilmslow Road leading up to the mosque. So we went along to see if we could come up with any solutions to it. We're having shocking problems in Heel Green as well. But Greater Manchester Police's response was that they didn't have the resources to deal with that, which is their problem. Gareth changed his shift so that he could organise the parking in the grounds of the hotel, which is now vacant. And it's worked very well while the roadworks were on. The roadworks have now finished in Cheshire East. So I'm not sure what will happen this Friday whether they'll still be able to use the hotel car park or not. Once the demolition of the original mosque is completed, there'll be 164 car parking spaces. There at the Wits End, the members of the mosque and the leaders there absolutely at the end of their tether with it, because they get abused. And they put sanctions onto people, but it's an open house, an open door policy that they have, so they can't restrict the number of people that want to go.
No, sure.
It's not within their remit to do that. But we were satisfied, both Gareth and I, that they are doing as much as possible. I've also had Cheshire East enforcement, parking enforcement out on Fridays on Clay Lane, Wallingford Road, just making sure that people were parking respectfully and legally.
Yeah.
We had the skip day on Swath Lane, which again was very successful. It was full within about 3/4 of an hour. We had to post on social media that we couldn't take any more stuff. Didn't stop people coming, but we had to turn them away because it was full to overflowing. The next one will be on the 25th of March, and that will also be on Swath Lane, but that will be funded by Onward. I had an email today to say that the Manchester Road cycle lane is likely to be installed not in spring as we originally thought, but later this year, starting around September, and the work is going to last about 4 months. Citizens Advice Bureau started today in Handforth Library. It'll run every Tuesday from 10:15 till 1 o'clock and available to all residents by appointment only. Again, that'll be advertised on social media, and I'll give Ashley details to put on the Town Council website.
If I can just interrupt, sorry, he's been in touch and he's going to come and speak to council at our March meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
John and I called in separately today just to welcome them and have a chat to them. And I was surprised to find that they've been running sessions on Coleshaw and in Wilmslow for quite some time. And they actually see quite a lot of residents from Handforth, which I thought was the case anyway, from the enquiries that I get. So they're confident that having a local branch will be really advantageous to our residents. The Staff Lane parking project is finally going to be done. They've had arboriculturists out to check the routes. They've done some route protection, or they will be doing some route protection. They've tweaked the plans a little, but not so that we're losing any parking spaces. We'll still have the original 8 parking spaces. They've not said exactly when it's going to start. It's had to go out to re-tender. So, but we've been told that they're not going to come back to us and say there isn't enough money. That money's going to be found from somewhere. We ran the latest CPR training session last Sunday. So another 19 residents are now trained in CPR and defibrillator use. The next one's planned for April. This is Sarah who came up with the idea of running the CPR. I'm getting a lot of reports about rats around the village. The Paddock, Spath Lane, Merriton Road, Lakes Estate and South Acre Drive, as well as Station Road, a lot. They've even been in the shops in the Paddock. We've had them in our pharmacy in the village. I've spoken to the environmental officer who specialises in rats, and he knows his stuff. I now know everything there is to know about rats and how to identify where they're coming from. He's happy for his number to be given out to anybody who has a problem, and he'll speak to them and try to help them. He's visited quite a number of properties to try and identify where they're coming from and get to the nests and eradicate them. I'll give the number to Ashley to put on the Town Council website, or I don't know whether that's a good idea. Maybe if people ring and ask,
We'll get
then
into
we
it,
can
yeah.
monitor how
Yeah.
many responses we're getting, can't we?
Yeah.
Because it is a problem.
So is that a free service or that they provide? Or?
Well, I never thought it was, and I think if a resident was to ring environmental services, they do charge to come and get rid of them.
Right.
But I've been speaking to this chap and he's, all right, give me the address, and he's been going round and sorting them out and giving people advice on how to not attract them. And I know certainly with Onward, in Onward Housing Association properties, Onward actually won't do anything. They will tell the tenants to go to the garden centre and buy rat poison. So, but it seems that Cheshire East are on it, and this chap's very enthusiastic about them. So, the results of the green spaces and grounds maintenance public consultation were received recently. The initial proposed categorisations for Handforth were predominantly low, and we questioned that and said, why are they all low, regardless of the categorisation of the typology of the grounds, i.e. parks or rural open spaces or whatever. But as the results that have come back, they're now all bar one, I think, which is School Road Car Park, which I wouldn't class as a public open space anyway. They're now all categorised as medium, which means that they're going to be maintained 8 visits, 8 times a year. As a town council, we've got the ride-on mower anyway, so anywhere that needs a bit more tweaking, then we could ask Paul if he could do it. Also, the results of the car parking consultation are in, and the results of that were that parking charges will be applied to School Road Car Park and Wilmslow Road Car Park. The library and health centre car park will remain free, which just makes total sense.
Would it?
I'm waiting for a response to a query I've made about resident parking permits on the Wilmslow Road car park, because I think it's totally unfair to expect the residents who have no option but to use that car park, residents from Station Road and the terraced houses on Wilmslow Road and the businesses, as it stands at the moment, being expected to pay £750 a year to use that car park. And I spoke to one resident last week and he said, well, if that's the case, I'm just going to take the back fence down and put a driveway there, and the car parking space couldn't be used anyway because they'd be blocking his driveway. So I think it's going to cause some problems. So I'm trying to get them to agree to give them parking permits, and the businesses as well.
Have they said that they'll increase the enforcement officers once?
Oh yes,
they will.
Well, yes, yeah. I'm waiting for the advert to come through.
Because you can just see what's going to happen.
Oh, they will. They'll target. They will target the car parks once these parking charges are imposed.
But you know, things like the health centre, you can just imagine people going and parking there all day long, all down the side roads and everywhere.
As they do now.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with the Wilmslow Road car park, which I'm really cross about, is that the alternative car parking that they gave for the terraced houses and the businesses is a station car park, which hasn't even been built yet. So I asked the question, who actually came to Handforth to come up with these plans that thought the station car park would be a good alternative car park for these residents, because it doesn't even exist.
And also the pub car park.
Yeah, and the pub car parks, which are private car parks. So, and it's still, at the moment, my email query is being passed around for somebody to come back and answer me.
Chair, may I comment that planning committee, I think, in the last meeting, assessed an application to create apartments over,
Microton, yeah.
yes, exactly. And if you look on the Cheshire East website now, you'll see a response from one of the Cheshire East departments, I forget which one it is, recommending refusal on the basis that there are insufficient car parking spaces.
So it's usually.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, agenda item 24059, to appoint members to the Hanford Town Council Planning Committee and to appoint members to the Hanford Town Council Environment Committee. We have to have 4 people in order to be quorate. And currently the Environment Committee only has 2 members, and the Planning Committee has 2. So we need councillors to step up, please. If anybody would like to put their name forward to either be on either or both, please say so now.
I'll go on the planning.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Oh, no.
Sorry,
I'm already here.
you go forward on the planning as well. Okay. Do we need to vote them on?
We do, but is there anybody else?
We need 2 people to
I
come
know
on
you
to the
can.
Environment Committee, please.
Okay.
No takers? Okay. That makes
She
you.
thinks she's on it.
Here's now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll go on planning if it will help. I'll go on planning if it will help as well as.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, just, yeah, it would be useful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it would.
Okay, well, what about the Environment Committee? So we need 2.
Would it not be better to defer that until we co-opt?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
New
got some more
councillors.
members. Yeah, we've got planning, so that solves that, and then we can bring this back when we've got some more councillors.
Okay, all right then. So can I have a proposal then to propose those people to be added to planning? Yes. All right. Okay.
We have got 3, I didn't realise. On the website, but I didn't know that.
Well, there you go. So we just need 1. Right. Okay. Can I have a proposer, please? I'll propose. Can I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor John Smith. All those in favour of adopting those people onto the planning committee?
Don't think so.
Yes, of course you
Well,
can.
Todd didn't he? Yeah.
I can't help yourself.
Okay. Where are we now? Agenda item 240510, to approve the internal auditor's interim internal audit report. Any comments from councillors? Councillor Sampson?
No, everybody had a copy of the interim
did.
report. I didn't find any anomalies in it. Our bank account is looking healthy.
So
However-
finance chair, happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that then.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
as you can tell, there's 2 policies in that we haven't adopted. That's why they're on this agenda for adoption. Anything else, just ask me.
There was only 2 items that we needed to adopt. There wasn't.
There was only 2, yes,
On
2
the
policies.
internal
Yeah,
report,
2 policies that needed to be adopted.
And
Yeah.
councillors should have had copies of the proposed
Yes, we have.
procedures.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I have a proposer then to, thank you, Councillor Julie Smith proposes and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Sampson. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Agenda item 240511 is to approve a draft tourist map for installation in newly sited post display cases in Hanford. 2 copies printed on weatherproof vinyl up to a maximum amount of £140 plus VAT. And this motion, if you remember, we deferred from the January meeting because we had too many maps to look at.
Can I make the point that wagon has two Gs?
It does.
It's pulled by GG.
And the
Yes,
only
it
thing
is.
I can see that's missing is Brook Farm,
Brook Farm.
down by the hotel.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got there.
Okay,
Anybody
now,
else? Any comments?
Yes. The map that you have in front of you indicates or is relative to the position in the paddock. The second copy will be posted somewhere else to be decided, and the map to be modified. The "you are here" symbol should be moved to this new location. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Are we
does,
discussing the location?
Yeah.
Would it not make sense to have it at the railway station?
They don't want
We
us to
can't
put
put
anything
anything
there.
there at the
On
minute.
there, you won't let me.
That's
Well,
the problem.
if I may respond to that, Chair, the Friends of Hamble
Okay.
Station are awaiting the decision of this council before they decide whether or not to adopt this map. They wish to see what the product is like coming from Printed, and then we have the money awarded by a grant from the Community Rail Partnership to produce a map which will go up within the ticket office. We can't really put it anywhere else because of the embargo at the moment on any structural changes on the station.
we should have, where it says the sanctuary, brackets Wilmslow.
Sorry.
Where it says the sanctuary, we should have in brackets Wilmslow. Yeah.
Madam Chair, can I just say, could the local schools have a copy, as they do the history of Handford as part of one of their Where We Belong series, especially in reception classes,
All right.
and they would love to have that.
Can we incorporate that?
That's absolutely fine within the cost.
Yes. Okay.
They would just find it useful.
Okay. Any comments from anybody else?
Just a very small point about QR code, to
Okay.
say what it is. To avoid confusion and most people
Okay.
will twig.
Okay, so Bobby,
Just a
that
little
takes
underneath it, yeah, see.
that just takes you to the website, it does.
Oh, right.
If you scan it, yeah.
Is it absolutely necessary to have the government's offices on? I mean, they're not going to exist if
Yeah,
the
but
garden
if you-
village goes ahead,
if you-
are
yeah.
they?
People might need to go to work there, they don't know where it is. I used to work there. It's the Ministry of Defence.
Still, the matter is still undecided, I think, Julie.
We can always change the map.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
We
creating
can always change.
creating it in PowerPoint, because you
Yeah.
can easily go in and change little items in it without having to redo the whole thing.
And did we ask the car showrooms if they were prepared to?
Contribute towards
Contribute.
the £35. No, I didn't.
No.
Well, they can buy one of the,
Yeah, you can buy one of them, right?
yeah, no, it is, they can
Right,
buy one of
so-
the official houses for it.
We need, one of these are going in the centre of Handford. We need to have a location for another one. So, any suggestions for the second one?
I
Oh,
think,
go on.
I like roads coming near into Handford because if they go onto the roads into Handford, people will be able to see them when they walk past or drive
Okay.
past.
yeah,
How about up near War Memorial?
yes.
Or is that too close to the other?
It probably is, isn't it?
What about having one by Lakeland as they come in?
That's your point, isn't it, the thieves?
You know, if we have
That's what
the one
As you're
coming
saying,
in
yeah.
from Lakeland.
There were not many people walking to the,
Well, they walk to Lakeland, don't they?
Yeah, probably more than you think.
what about, sorry, Chair,
Go on.
Handford Dean.
I was going to suggest Handford Dean. I don't know whether it's worth thinking of the footpath where we've got the council notice board. There's a lot of footfall on that footpath.
Footpath 91 into
Yes.
the retail zone, yeah.
I don't know whether that's worth considering at the other end of the footpath, or
We
whether you want to put it on the car park. I suppose the car park's a bit difficult, 'cause it's so huge.
I've spoken to Alan from the retail park, and he's given us permission to
As
install
it-
it.
Did he say
If he wants to
anywhere?
install it. We can't put it at the very end of footpath 91 as it emerges from the sanctuary, because that land is actually owned by Mark and Spencer's.
Yeah.
But the bit that goes through from Boots into Earl Road, which then links into the Pets at Home side and that side of the industrial estate, happy for us to put it there. Well, depending on orientation and everything like that.
What the council think?
I think the more maps we have round Handforth, the better. Doesn't have to be
And we've got nothing,
restricted to
we've
one
got
or
nothing
two.
with our name on down there.
No, so I think we should be out there advertising.
I think that there's very few people in cars that stop to look at maps outside the road. They've got sat nav, etc. This is for those who are on hikers or walking, that may want to know where places are. I think that,
We can go in the library. We could go in the library.
not on a Sunday afternoon.
What about outside the hill? How-
No,
what
but
was
it could be in the notice board on a Sunday afternoon, won't it?
Yeah.
On a Sunday morning.
On the
Outside the
corner?
hill on the
Yeah.
corner, you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
loads of cyclists in there,
Yeah,
Sunday
good
morning.
idea.
And you got a lot of footfall from the railway station as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what my son said. It's probably ideal for the football line. John said that it's on the football paths. So, i.e., where people come from the train station, like you said, when they go down toward the last Tesco's and Marks and Spencer's, and then through the industrial estate, where they're going to actually walk. I think it could also mark out the territory a little bit as to where Handforth begins and ends, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying go mad and have them everywhere, but if you identify where your largest football route is and just have it at the beginning of that, because I get a lot of conversation from people who don't know where the shops are and routes around the place trying to find anything. So they are a good idea, but I think they just need to be in the right places.
So whereabouts, where then?
As I say, we've got permission between Boots and Earl Road, the footpath. We've got prior permission, yeah. Whereas to get permission off Cheshire East, hang now.
No.
Hang me now.
Okay.
I think footpath 91 though is.
It's a really good, it's a really
idea.
good one.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I asked Alan, and he said no, it's owned by Marks. You won't get permission off.
But have we been to Marks twice?
I could double check with them
Yeah.
because I'd like it there as well. I think that was my
Because
sort of favourite place, but we were offered.
Well, why
that.
don't we try and get in touch with Marks
Okay.
and see what they say?
Yeah.
Well, use our contact.
Yeah.
Get him to give us the
Yeah. We'll try that. We'll try that,
We
yeah.
tell them that this is going to be for people who are walking,
Yeah.
and they come to your shop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're going in both schools, aren't they?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, within the budget.
And the library.
so what are councillors, can we just have a quick show of hands? Are councillors happy for that location?
Yeah.
Yes?
Sorry, which location are we talking about?
Councillor Smith.
Sorry, what?
Footpath.
Sorry, 1 second.
A question, I've not seen the map. I know it's gone on the town council map of the deeper location. Is it on there?
The defects aren't on here.
They need to be on there.
The
Because
problem
if someone collapses in the street, they're not gonna go to the website to find out where the depot is. They're gonna go to the notice board.
Well, can we not incorporate put the DFID map up as well?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, you could probably.
Because I think
Put it in the corner.
DFID will get lost on
think it's
here.
a zero.
I just thought about
Look,
an arrow, you know.
When you think about a slide zero.
It's a health centre one, presumably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
Both
not
the
just have
doctors.
like a star or something? And then, like a key on a map? And just put a star, and where the stars are is the defect.
Honestly, once this is blown up to 4 times its size, once you've got an A4 DPID map in this corner, it's not going to overlay any of the map,
No.
to be perfectly honest.
So put them on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be a separate map in the
Put
corner.
the map on, yeah.
You can always use.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it'd be a separate map in
In
the
the-
corner. Once you've blown it up to A0, yes.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the map,
There's going to be room in there.
the map's good, yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
I don't know where they are.
I think that would work, yeah.
okay. Right, so councillors.
Yeah.
Did,
Oh, okay.
Right. okay. Are councillors happy with that then?
Yeah.
To defer until Ashley has checked.
No.
No, we won't defer it, we're
And
going
I'll
to
try
add the defibrillators
Oh,
in,
right.
in the corner as suggested. Yeah?
I'll
And
try
the
and get permission
location.
from Mark, but if I
Yeah.
can't, we'll put it at the other side of the retail park.
Okay.
Yeah,
He suggested some other locations, so we could put future ones as well.
last question.
Just one, is the garage on that?
The
The
garage.
garage?
Redwood's garage.
Which garage?
Greens.
The Redwoods,
No.
handball garage?
It was missed off.
Well, the
It's a
problem
pro-
with that is advertising
Yeah.
companies, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm.
That's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? Because you're going to end up
Oh,
then with,
You want everybody.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that,
More secure are we on there?
What have you
We
named?
are,
Have you
oh, we
just
are.
named the schools, you've not named any businesses?
No.
So you've not put the Pinewood Hotel or any of those on?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hotels are on.
yes, that's all.
Well, I'm not being funny, but surely if you're naming one business,
Mm.
then where do you draw the line?
But the landmarks, aren't they, more than
Yeah.
businesses? The landmarks, hotels and pubs.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm a business in the village and I'm not bothered being on there. It's irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
we
the plan
can't.
with the Freemason Road should be on there. It's a
I
good
think-
point to make, but that's,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, I mean,
I
It'll
think
be
you could just
possible,
open
yes.
yourself up to
Yeah.
criticism,
Yeah.
couldn't you?
The problem is
Really?
it's quite cramped in that location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any more
yeah,
in, I'm
yeah.
afraid.
Because you're not putting any businesses on that far, apart from the landmarks, we can put in a small business on in some respects, and all have got to be on
Yeah.
because.
just put a bell box on there.
Okay, well, let's just have a quick show of hands then. All those in favour of doing what we just said about putting the map either at the end of footpath 91 with permission from Marks and Spencer's or the Boots end, and to add those up, just have a quick show of hands again. We're all happy? Yes, we're all happy. Over to you, Moriarty.
Thanks, it's done.
Right. Okay, agenda item 240512 to adopt an investment strategy and treasury management strategy with reference to the requirements of the Local Government Act 2003. This was something that came out of the report and is something we need to adopt in order to make add another layer of protection.
Yeah.
Over to you, Councillor Sampson.
The investment strategy, it was found that because we're proposing to purchase the youth centre at £25,000, we hadn't invested this 25,000. We'd only put it in business reserves, and we're supposed to be looking at capitalising on how we best use the 25,000 if we get to purchase the youth centre. It was an amount that was picked out a good few years ago. We've never amended it, but we do need an investment strategy. And the Cheshire East has been adopted by most local councils, and you've all had a copy. Any comments from it?
Chair, Cynthia, purchase. We're not purchasing it, are we?
We're not now, but at the time when we set aside that 25,000, we were going to purchase it. So that needs updating.
Right.
This is just a standard thing that's now come up on everybody's audit
Yes.
this
Yes.
time round.
So is it one of these find and replace things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
So the
Done it
investment, it's been adopted by Cheshire East. It's been adopted by many of the local council, parish and town councils, and there's nothing in it that makes us do something that we shouldn't be doing. It is something that we need in place, and hopefully everybody's had a copy. Any comments on it?
Is this as it stands then?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
Ashley's not getting more work to do or not, or anything
No,
like that, it's just
no.
as this document.
not unless a councillor comes up with something that we blatantly missed. Yes,
I have a problem with paragraph 311 where there's something missing. Credit ratings will be obtained and monitored by the.
Nothing, so we'll insert RFO in there.
Okay.
It's what?
The other thing which occurred to me was we're living in quite difficult times and we're seeing large councils on the verge of bankruptcy and so on. And I would hate that to be the position ever for Handel Town Council. Now, I couldn't find any reference in this document to investment sites which are covered by the, is it the Financial Services Compensation Scheme?
we'd have to use that.
We will never use this, Roger.
No.
We'll never use this. We've not got the kind of money, and we never will have.
Got to have understanding.
But you've just got to have the policy in place.
Right. But should we have £100,000, then we ought to that sum into some kind of institution which is covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme or whatever it's called.
We will do whatever this template says.
Yeah. Should that ever be the case,
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
But, you know,
If it ever is the case, we're not spending it right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, we should be sat on that kind of money, and I don't know why some
No,
councils
I mean,
are.
sack me now.
we did that
so,
for long enough, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sit on money.
Yeah, it's just a case you've got to have the policy in place.
Yeah.
okay, anything else?
Can we have a vote on this?
So we do need to vote on it, so.
Yes. Any
Okay.
other comments from any of the councillors? No?
So can I have a proposer then, please? Thank you. Councillor John Smith, seconder, Councillor Sanderson. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 240513 is to adopt an expenses policy covering both officers and members.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
They-
No, there's no particular reason why it's been brought up, but the
No,
auditors
but
brought
the
it up.
auditors noted that
We haven't got one.
we hadn't got a procedure and everybody's been given a copy. Are there any comments from it? No.
Standard stuff.
Yeah.
7 years I've been doing an audit for this council. First time we spotted that.
I told you before, they have to find something to
I like
justify
the
their.
£15 for lunch,
I know.
the £10 for breakfast, and the
We've
20
used, we've
tea
used
for
Cheshire
dinner.
East as the guidance and we've used NELP.
Yeah.
So we've not just picked figures out of the air.
No, the NALP one.
Yes, the NELP one is the
Absolutely.
one
Can't go wrong,
we're
can we?
going to adopt. Can I have a proposal, please?
I propose.
Second,
Seconder.
councillor Julie Smith, all in favour? Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, agenda item 240514, which is to support CEC's electoral review subcommittee recommendations with regard to the new CE ward boundaries. Councillor Small.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say that I don't think I should be the presenter of this motion. I think it should be either Councillor John Smith or Councillor Julie Smith, who I believe both served on the committee that drew up this
No,
plan. Is that
no,
right?
we
Not the
didn't.
committee.
No, we didn't.
Oh, right.
We had a meeting
Meeting,
with other ward councillors from the area.
local area,
Right.
and then
And
The
I,
areas
they
involved,
decided-
Alderley Edge, Wilmslow,
Chorley.
Dean Road, Chorley
Right.
and Handful.
So you weren't part of the committee that made the
No.
decision?
No,
No.
but
No.
I attended the meeting of the committee
Right.
and as an observer.
Right.
And was present when proposals put forward, and I was asked if I had any issue with those proposals.
Okay.
And
Then I'm prepared to make some opening comments on this. I've read the report and I am very supportive of the report, even though there might be one or two areas where I would query the wording of the report. For example, it's claimed there's no road access from Coleshaw Farm Estate into Handforth. I would take issue with that. You can drive a car from Colshaw Farm into Handforth.
Where,
No,
no, I think, wasn't it Handforth style?
No, it says,
Well, no, it's obviously.
bringing the
road
Colshaw
access from
Farm estate
Colshaw.
into a Wilmslow Borough ward, there is no road access from this estate into Handforth, and Colshaw Farm residents identify as being part of Wilmslow. So I'm taking issue with the fact that there's no road connection between Colshaw Farm and Handforth, when there most definitely is.
yeah.
But there isn't between Handforth and Style, which was
No.
going to be, or could have been
Yeah.
an issue for the
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah.
But the arguments for Colshaw going back,
Please don't get me wrong, I'm very supportive of this report.
oh yes,
It's just some of the wording in it.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it says, large retail outlets in Handforth, most obviously Handforth Dean Retail Park, make Handforth a convenient location for many of the service needs of Style residents. I'm not sure that's strictly true either. But having said that, I think this report is rather fine. What it means is that the Colshaw Farm element of Handforth Ward is lost to Wilmslow, and Handforth gains Style Parish as its ward. And that does have some consequences. It brings, and the recommendation is that combined Handforth and Style ward has 2 ward councillors, which means that those councillors represent fewer electors than they do at present. But it may mean that in the future, if this comes about, there will be a Handforth ward councillor, and I think there ought to be a Style ward councillor, or a ward councillor who lives in Style to represent that area of this new ward. So I would commend this report to the council and would be in favour of our new ward being a combination of Handforth north of the River Dean plus the present Style Parish.
I'll just point out that the Finney Green as well moves into Wilmslow
Yeah, from Style. Yeah.
from Handforth.
No, from Style, isn't it?
No, there's part, Finney Green is Little Bell.
Dean Drive.
Dean Drive.
Yeah.
Dean Drive.
Highfield
Yes, of
Estate.
course, yeah.
That
All that will
goes
go
into
back to Wilmslow.
Yeah.
So will Colshaw Farm go back to
Yes.
Wilmslow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
The sensible thing is that they're covered by the Handforth Town, Wilmslow Town Council.
Yeah, well, they
So-
are now, but the
I know that's what I mean, so
difficulty
it's
is,
now,
that-
it's Wilmslow Ward
yeah,
and Wilmslow Town Council.
Yes.
Makes sense.
good.
Okay, we've got a member of the public who I know has something that she'd like to share.
The only concern I have with changing the boundaries is the school places. If you extend the boundaries to include the fairways and Style, you have then got an increase of footfall for the schools. Style is always oversubscribed and it's a small school, so it can't grow, it can't be extended, it can't take any more children. You then only have the Grange and St Benedict's because Wilmslow Academy will go into Wilmslow. It won't stay as a Handforth school.
Well,
It's-
as it stands, isn't the Spath Lane estate not in the catchment area? for
Yeah,
the
but if you
Grange?
increase the catchment area to include the fairways at the end of Clay Lane, that's the fairways, isn't it?
It is.
They are nearer as the
Yeah.
clothes rise than the end of Delamere Road.
Right.
So the children for the fairways could potentially get in the Grange in preference to children on the Spath Lane estate, which has already happened. Having worked in the school, I know it's happened. So no one has thought that these schools can only take 45 children per reception year per year. So that's 90 children, and you've increased with the Fairways estate a massive. They're all family houses.
Yeah.
A massive amount of children. St Benedict's is a Catholic school, so unless you're Catholic, you're not, people don't want to go there. So it leaves the Grange and Style. and Style have a percentage of with-insured children because they come in from that end as well. So where are these children going to go? You've also got to think of Winslow High School.
Yeah.
Those children are then, you know, so the more houses we gain, less school places we've got.
As I understand it, Wilmslow Academy is a Wilmslow school, but its catchment area does include elements of Hanford, Southmore.
Yeah, but if you're changing the boundaries, won't they change their catchment
These are
area?
political boundaries, not school
No.
catchment boundaries.
So they're not school catchment. So the school catchment, because we've been told at the Grange that the school catchment will now include the fairways and Style.
It's always wood though.
Yes.
No, it didn't before.
Well, where were they supposed to go?
They went up to Winslow Academy or Lacey Green.
From the fairways?
Well, but before it wasn't, it's only just been built, hasn't it?
Mm.
But the majority of them go that way, not this way, because they can't get in.
Difficult.
And also as well, the Grange is the only school in the local area that has a special needs unit.
I mean, they built the new
Lacey
special
Green.
schools.
St Benedict's have the orchard.
They built the new special schools
Special
near
needs.
Lidl, but
And
it's
it's
already
full.
oversubscribed and full, and it's full for the next potentially 5 to 10 years. So where do your special needs children go?
Well, we've got 2 new special needs schools, haven't we?
Yeah, but they're full. There's no, you can't apply to them.
To the Springfield school?
Yeah, they're all full.
And Aurora?
Yeah, they're all full. You can't
Aurora-
apply to them.
Aurora isn't full yet.
Well, the parents have been told you can't apply. Parent applied recently, she was told we might have a space in 3 to 5 years. So,
That,
but
is
it's
that
not
your
those children, I'm thinking of
is
your.
that your
No.
understanding?
No, because I have parents on Sunday afternoon whose children go to Aurora.
Yeah,
I've
but
spoken
that's
to them
now,
because they're
it's
still
not-
taking them in.
Yeah,
to
no, but from
Aurora.
September, you know, the applications have now gone into school for September 24.
Yeah.
They're not taking them.
But the Springfield school have just taken over Dean Road Community Centre as well, so there's going to be more capacity there for more children.
Okay.
So, but it's going to be the case wherever the boundary is, we're still going to have the problem.
We haven't got
And
any
the
school
thing
places.
to remember is this is not going to be implemented until 2027. It's not something that's happening anytime soon. So until the next elections,
Everything
Everything
stays as
stays
it
the
is.
same.
it will be as it is now.
This
Our
is-
budding little politician over there would like to make a
Before
comment.
you move off the school subject, St Benedict's, because I go there, it's actually not just Catholic. The main scheme is Catholic, but
Yeah,
I
I
have
know,
loads of
yeah.
friends
Yeah.
that are different.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
perhaps good ammunition
Thank you.
for prompting Cheshire East Council to get on and build the Garden Village with its associated school, both primary and secondary school.
That's going to be even.
Well, they're
Now,
not,
that's not going to be
we were
until,
told that the Garden Village, you know, the fact that schools were proposed to be built there, it wasn't certain and everything.
Oh, well,
You know.
it's my understanding that it is, if
Yeah.
it
If we
goes
get the
ahead.
Garden Village, but I mean, at the
Nothing's
moment,
been
there's
decided.
90
We get the
school
Garden
places in Handful.
yeah, and
That's
the
it.
Garden Village won't be
Yeah.
started for, who knows
So,
how many
2029.
years, 2029.
So we need to move on because time's moving on. Unfortunately, I think it's already a done deal at Cheshire East anyway, isn't it? So we need a proposer to accept these recommendations. Thank you, Councillor Small. A seconder, please. Councillor Smith. All those in favour? Okay. Agenda item 240515 to receive and discuss the tenders and quotations for the Handyman Limited and to agree a new service level agreement for 3 years beginning March 2024 up to budgeted amount of £17,500 a year. Comments, please, councillors?
You're going to have to defer this. I haven't done enough quotes in.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't
Oh,
done
okay,
enough quotes.
I was
right.
just going to ask
Yeah,
you
yeah,
that.
I haven't done enough quotes in.
Okay.
Fair enough. That item
Sorry, so I can't
is
do anything about it yet.
deferred. Okay. 24056.
If I haven't got enough quotes in, I can't really
It's only a
Do anything about
We've
it.
got to have 3 quotes.
I know, yeah, we'll get our hands smacked
Is this
again.
the Paul's position?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to get 3 quotes in each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But it just
No
goes to show,
brainer,
I've had a check a trade job advert out for almost 3 weeks now. And I've written to three individual handymen not to respond.
Well, there you go.
Just goes
We'll
to
see
show.
what next month, well, we'll have to vote on it regardless.
Yeah, we will vote
next
on
month.
it next month regardless, sort of thing.
Okay.
240516 is to receive the NALC briefing update on changes to the National Planning Policy Framework. Councillor Small.
Oh gosh, yes, this NALC briefing was discussed at the previous planning committee meeting. Important, you've all been circulated with a copy of the planned changes to the planning framework. Important, so I'll just pick out a few elements which I think are important. Where a local plan is more than 5 years old and therefore out of date, local planning authorities must continue to prepare a monitoring report, and where there has been significant underdelivery of sites, this should also include a buffer of 20% additional land. The points I would make are that the Cheshire East local plan is now 14 years old, so it's considered out of date. So Cheshire East will be looking around trying to find this buffer of 20% additional land. What does that mean for Hanforth? Well, it may mean that Hanforth will identify various plots within Hanforth for future building. The plots which spring to my mind are firstly the safeguarded land that lies to the south of the Garden Village site. So Cheshire East have clearly got their eyes on that already. There's the Knoll House site, which is curious because it's both greenbelt at the moment and
Brownfield.
also brownfield. There's the land to the north of Clay Lane and lying alongside the A555, and there's land to the north of the A555. An example of that is the field adjacent to the Belfry, and there's the land, I forget the name of the road now, a road which runs up to a farm shop, just on Bolshaw, yeah. There's a farm, a piece of farmland there.
Can I just say that Cheshire East own that, but it's tenanted by Bridge Farm.
Yes.
They rent it.
Yeah.
In any event, those pieces of land are very important as regards keeping Hanforth separate from Greater Manchester.
Yeah.
And there are some negative points as regards the status of Hanforth, in that it's quite obvious that there has been a very slow start to the building of the Garden Village. But on the positive side of things, we have to consider the development that's gone on the fairways, the sanctuary development at the bottom of Hall Road, the Sunfield site, and indeed Ford Lodge, which was formerly the Cypress House development. So we do have some positive points on our side.
Did we get still money for those?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
none.
Before
They
Still was
planning
introduced and
was
adopted.
granted
Sorry?
before,
Before Still
so
was adopted.
Was it?
yeah. So we need to just, I think, beware of the changes which are mentioned in this report.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any comments from council?
No.
Okay, we don't need to do anything about that. Okay, so agenda item 240517, safety measures, footpath 91, crossing Coppice Way.
Oh gosh, it's me again. My wife and I use footpath 91 to get across to Tesco's virtually every day of the week. We like to go out shopping bit by bit and to avail ourselves of reduced items in what we call Tesco's bargain basement, and for that matter, Marks and Spencer's too. There's not, we don't find it a problem crossing from the Hall Road direction across to Marks and Spencer's. That's relatively easy. It's supported by an island in the middle of Coppice Way. However, it's the return journey which is frightening. Imagine a couple of old codgers like my wife and I, laden with shopping bags, waiting to cross from the Marks and Spencer's car park across to the footpath which leads to Hall Road. Traffic is on you in an instant coming from the roundabout which is to the southwest of the Marks and Spencer's car park. The design of the roundabout there is such that cars can drive through that at 40, 50 miles an hour. They do not have to slow down to curve round the roundabout. You can drive virtually straight through it. So when you're waiting to cross that road, vehicles coming from the west and moving east can be on you in a minute, in a second. And we have witnessed ourselves being narrowly missed by speeding vehicles, and we watched a young person just the other day having a narrow squeak at that junction.
So what's the proposal then, Councillor?
My proposal is that yes, I should go back a stage. I asked Ashley at one point to write to the chairman of Halliwell Jones to ask whether, in view of the fact that their development near that roundabout was not liable to pay S106 money or SIL money, that they might consider paying for a pelican crossing at that site. And we got no reply.
No, I've got a letter like that. I haven't replied to that.
A cheaper option might be to put up a sign, and there are some specimens here, which would go on a pole near the roundabout saying slow pedestrian crossing ahead or worse to that effect. And that task could be done for a cost of approximately £100.
Don't we have to get permission from the Cheshire?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
You can't just put it up.
Yeah.
At present, we have deployed the speed device there today, so we can get some
So
data.
get some,
We can get some data.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we would have to have permission from
Yeah,
highways.
highways, that's it, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Fair enough.
And again, it harks back to the land actually being owned by M&S,
So maybe
which is a
we
bit
go to
strange,
M&S
yeah.
and ask
We
them.
need to make.
The highway is
sure
adopted
somebody-
highway, but the land is owned by M&S.
We're actually expecting to be out with highways in the next couple of weeks,
Mm.
doing a drive round, so I will, we have a ward councillor budget for things like that.
The problem is not only that the roundabout allows traffic to go through it quickly, but if you're waiting to cross at the point I've mentioned, the approaching traffic is screened by a load of bushes.
That needs
Yeah.
Can I add in Old Codger and Dog?
A couple of speed
One
bumps and
at a
stuff.
Old Codger and Dog, what is it, right? And right there, it's actually blind, so you've got little discs to see the vehicles coming. They come quite quickly. I've got very careful, and what I think confirms that view. There's an exit point from the car park just to one's left. That's how to see cars almost crashing there,
Yeah.
coming out, not seeing a vehicle, and they're going too fast.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
she's right.
when we get this data.
Lady over there wants to speak.
Yes, just 1 second. When we get the data, we can have a look at kind of speeds and things. Yes.
I would say you're likely to get increased traffic because of the new BMW.
Oh, yes.
Well,
road.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, there'll
So,
be those great big delivery vehicles going down there.
yeah.
So how long is it before they have to move the island? Because the big Arctic lorry loaded with 20 cars can't go
Yeah,
down.
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was going to echo what the two people have said about the crossing, because I want my dogs there as well. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'd raise the sort of speed bump rather than Pelican crossing the lights and everything, because it's a physical barrier. that will slow any vehicle down.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Make it level with the path, so people with buggies and chairs and everything walking to the lead.
We
walk
don't need
straight
a
across
service item
and cars
until,
across.
Yes, well,
until
we
we get
will
the
do.
information.
Get 2 weeks worth of SID data in both
Benefits.
directions, and
When they get
you
older,
guys,
they
and if
put
you
through
can
cars
convince
and
highways to
services.
spend some money on it.
So
Yeah.
we'll follow on to that.
Yes. Yeah,
Two-
we'll have a look at the data
That will just get ignored.
and
So my
and
follow
then
on to that.
see where we get to.
Sorry to interrupt, my follow on to that, because it's a bit more pertinent to us, is the crossing here on Dean Road. And I would like it if we could do something similar there, have a raised path across the road. There's a physical barrier to slow cars down as we come down that road. Because I'm aware that the low sunlight during the certain part of the year, you can't see the actual illuminated bulbs.
Right, yeah.
So unless
Okay, I
they're
think
LED,
Councillor Smith has got something to say.
I've been on this for the last 2 or 3 years to
I don't think.
have a controlled Pelican crossing there because of people coming from the police estate
Yeah.
and Culture, and if they walk down that
Doesn't
side,
matter
over
which
to
way.
the church, over to
Yeah.
the school. No,
Really?
we even sent all the SID data, showing, I think there was one car that was going, what was it? Ridiculous amount of 84 miles an hour. or
What?
something. Yeah, and in the early hours of the morning, but
Yeah,
this is what the data shows. But all the traffic going in both directions was over the 30 mile an hour speed limit. So we thought we had it in the bag by sending all this and saying, look, we really need this crossing there. No,
Nothing.
because there's no evidence. As they said about Old Road, that's why we couldn't have the mirror. Cheshire East wouldn't agree to have a mirror there because there's never been an accident.
So we
And
just
until
wait till
there
what
is-
happens, don't we?
Until
This is
there is.
Doesn't make any
ridiculous,
difference
isn't
that
it?
there's a church and a school on the opposite
No,
side of the
No,
road.
I've been arguing this for the last 2 or 3 years, as I say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we need a controlled crossing there, but
Yeah.
no, until the evidence proves otherwise.
I'm aware that there has been that crossing.
Three days to-
Okay, just let's not all talk at once. Well, thank you for your efforts. If we can do anything else about it, we will try. But you can see what we're up against.
Yeah.
And to wait until there's an accident is just, it's ludicrous to me, absolutely ludicrous. So, I propose then that we defer that.
until we get the
Yeah,
data.
until we get the data.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see where we go to from that. Okay, agenda item, that's 2 we've deferred, I don't like this. 240518, a report from the Environment Committee, Councillor Moore.
Let's be deferred, we haven't got a committee now. No, I'll present this as being the council then. It's just, I think, it's a case of having some ideas laid down, not in tablets of stone, but just to give us a remit of green things, if you like, that as a council we should be looking at. And I've just produced a handwritten mind map to start with, just like a brainstorming thing I'll pass out at the end to get comments, add bits, knock bits off, don't agree with that, just to bring for next meetings just some emotion therefore of green things to cover. And it's things like, paths is one, green areas, trees, parks, planning grants and funding. I've got roads and parking in. That's probably not environment, but I've got a question mark against that one. Litter, recycling. It's all the obvious things that are to do with the environment, essentially. So I've got a mind map just to pass out, just for comments and views, hopefully before next meeting, and then we can pull something. I'll pull a motion together of the views and ideas. So it's then written down. It's not tablet stone. It can be added onto. And I've got, which I'll leave at the minute, but I've got a thing about litter, which I've been working on, which would be the first project, I think, within the green environment thing.
Okay.
And that's it, really. So I'm going to pass it on. Well, you're finished. I'll pass these out and hopefully get some
All right, so
comments.
hopefully councillors will have a look at that and put forward any ideas they may have. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. To add to that, the Environment Committee, I have approached St Benedict's about planting children growing poppies around the War Memorial. I'm waiting to hear from the Grange. we'll just see, might then go to the guides and scouts, just depends, we'll see. But certainly St Benedict's want to take part, so those hopefully will be grown this year. We will buy some poppies in and plant those because we're not sure how well they will grow, and we'll see where we get to.
I always thought we had some there.
We have got some.
Yeah, well, there might be the odd one or two, but
Ooh,
there need to be more.
Seen any.
No,
There might be.
No,
daffodils, yeah.
There might be. I don't.
No,
I've not-
poppies as well, I
I've
remember
never seen
Brian
it.
told
Yeah.
I've not seen any.
Yeah,
It's certainly not enough, and
No.
I think, you know, it would look beautiful with a lot of wild poppies there. Anyway, that was just for your edification. Thank you. Okay, 24/15/05/19, notices and correspondence. Councillor Smith. would
Yeah,
like
it's
to make
for
some-
after the meeting.
Oh, after.
When the public are.
Oh, right, okay, fine. Have you got any notices and correspondence?
On your littering,
Only a,
on your littering, I've had two companies from, one from Brook House and another on the industrial estate. They're going to get in touch with me. They're going to do a joint company litter bit of Hallwood, apparently.
Of,
Hallwood,
all right.
apparently. Yeah,
Yeah.
they want to. They asked us for permission yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
no? Right.
Well, as regards litter, that's one thing that we need to do is involve other people.
Yeah.
Like
But if two companies want to get together and do it, great,
Yeah.
go for it.
With that, sorry, you go first, then I'll say my other one.
It's not really a notice or item of correspondence, but could we ask the lady, the member of the public over there, to send us her very valid comments about school catchment areas?
Yes,
with
okay.
respect to,
Okay, yeah.
if you could send those comments to the
Yeah,
clerk, that
absolutely.
would be very useful.
One final note after that bit about litter picking. I did ask Ashley if he would get in touch with our contact at Hanford Dean, because behind the shops there, where all the lorries park up, is an absolute disgrace. And so he has agreed to get a team out
He's
there,
going to get a
hasn't
team
he?
out.
And clean it all up. So hopefully that will be done in the very near
Yeah,
future.
that's truck drivers.
Sorry?
Truck drivers.
Sure, yeah, I think
I
it
think,
is.
double stuff.
I have to say, walking to the Bull's Head on Sunday afternoon down Station Road, that's a disgrace as well.
Mm.
Very bad.
Okay, anything else, correspondence or notice? Nobody? Okay, so then to agree the date of the next HTC meeting to be held on March the 12th. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Meeting closed at 20:43.
Nice to see some members of the public here this time as well.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. It's nice to see some new faces.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
Yeah. But John needs to do that.